Hello and welcome. This is This Evening, and I'm Amir Lahijy. Stay tuned with me. Hello and welcome to the program, Dr. Khorramshadi from New York.
Good evening. How are you?
Good evening. I'm very good. We are talking about happy, right? Be happy. How was your day?
Very good. Very good. Very productive.
We are going to talk about happiness, and my question is, which part and what part of brain get involved with happy feeling or sad feeling?
Actually, we were the happiness, and we define the happiness as a state of the mind. And we said that happy feeling, it depends on the age. When you are 6 years old, you are happy with the licking of the ice cream, but at the age of the 18, 19, probably you get happy with driving a brand new car, spending time with your friends, and the majority of the time we know that our feelings comes from the mesolimbic system, which is the middle part of the brain, and we do have a lot of neurotransmitter associated with the feelings. It doesn't matter is a sad feeling, bad feelings, or it's a happy feeling. A lot of neurotransmitter, a lot of chemicals are associated with this network, and the majority of the time we have to tell you that amygdala, hippocampus, and serotonin, adrenaline, dopamine, even the oxytocin is working with the our feelings.
Amazing. So, how is associate happy feeling and brain wave?
Interesting. Well, we do remember that we were talking about the conscious and subconscious, and we said that conscious is associated with the awareness, is about the part of our decision making role of us. And when we are conscious, when we are mindful, we have pay attention and awareness to the situation, basically the theta waves, which is the form of the waves of the brain, comes with calmness and feeling better in pleasure and smoothness, comes to the picture. When you do have the anxiety, when you do have nervousness, when you do have the irritability, edginess, or when you do have the depression, you are not in the theta wave are the type of the waves that associated with the consciousness level of us, associated with the deep level of the sleep, and associated with the happiness. So I believe that the best answer for happiness is the theta wave. If I want to explain about the happy feeling and being in that state of the mind, I should tell you that when you are happy, that you do have no comparison. The worst thing to destroy the happiness is a comparison. Just imagine that there is two child in a home, and uneducated or uncared make a comparison between boys and girls in the home, or making with the elder one and the younger one, and constantly there is a type of feeling that you're anxious, you're worried, you are a little bit nervous, that you are always comparing with someone else. The best thing is that to be compared with yourself, to estimate that I'm standing here today at the A point, and tomorrow I'm going to move a little bit more, and then next day I'm going to move a little bit more. So basically you're going to make a progress with yourself, with your speed, with your pace, not with someone else. Basically comparison is the worst enemy for our happiness, for feeling calm, smooth, and enjoying of the life.
Okay, thank you so much. My question is, what's the main key to create happiness?
Beautiful. Well, actually, that we cannot find the happiness. You have to create it. You have to make it. You have to produce it. So if you think that someone is going to bring the happiness to you, it's absolutely wrong assumption. Basically, we have to make ourselves happy, and we don't have to wait for someone else to give us this type of the feeling. So we are saying that happiness is a state of the mind, and we should create it, and we should produce it. And how we have to bring the happiness to our life. Basically, if you want to make a jackpot, you have to do the physical activity. When you do physical activity, dopamine will increase in your body, and there is a lot of endorphins, a lot of good neurotransmitter is going to come to your body. Basically, when we do the physical activity, our muscles in the body and our muscles in the brain, starting working and make a network together. There was a experiment actually. They were saying that if you try to move one of your fingers like this, a group of networks of the brain cells will produce after a couple of practice. But if you practice your hands like this, couple of the fingers together, there's a different network of the brain will produce and make a shape in your brain. Basically, they are saying that if you make a different group of the muscles or different group of the body extremities of your at the same time, your brain is be able to produce and to make a good pathway, and neurotransmitter will be come up at the ending of this firing. They are saying that the neurons are firing together, they are wiring together. So basically, if you want to have a good wiring, you have to have a good group of the muscles to work with each other or fire together. And when you are practicing muscle body in your body to practice and exercise it, and you're producing a lot of endorphins. And besides, you have to be mindful about the spiritual, about your awareness, about your what's going on with the daily physical activity. So we do this together, integrated all this together. You do have a very good chance to bring the happiness, to create the happiness to your life.
Is it any relationship between consciousness and happiness?
Well, yeah, we're going to get back to the previous question. I was explaining that when we are at the level of the consciousness, we are having a little bit more of the theta waves, and you have the theta waves. You are calm, and you do have the less amount of the anxiety. And when there is a less amount of anxiety, you do have better feeling. You do have much state level of the state of the mind.
But okay, I receive a question. Let me see. As all of you guys, you can send your questions and messages in our live chat, our app, our website. You can send the live chat. Yeah, you can ask your questions. So someone asked a question. It's a simple question, but his name is Joe, and he asked, okay, I want to be happy. What should I do?
Interesting. Very good. The basic here, no, actually, this is the first step. We want to do something. When we want something, when we feel like that, we have to have something, then we're going to, move on and to make it or to produce it or to create it. I have to tell you that there is a specific pattern for our brain that we call it as a negative bias. And negative bias for the brain means that if you do have 4 or 5 of the good and positive comments and accidents or events, anything good happening during the day for you, and only just one negative effect is going to happen to you, at the end of the day, you just remember the negative one. And it's very difficult to
why is like that, doctor? Why is like that? We just remember all negative things and we forgot all good pleasure, happy times and everything. Yeah. What's going to happen in our brain?
That's what I'm trying to explain it.
Yeah, please explain more, because I'm very concerned about that part. Please go ahead.
we call it as a negative bias. It means that your brain absorbing and sinking the negative aspects,
Mm-hmm.
and all positive bounce on your so it's going to bounce on your neural circuit of your brain. So if you want to have a happy feeling, instead of one negative, for example, when you do have just one negative event, you need at least 5 to 6 positive events to make it a balance, to make
Mm-hmm.
it equal, make it to
Mm-hmm.
even though. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? So basically, if you want to be happy, you have to have positive mind, positive thinking, talk to yourself in a positive way, and when you get the positive events, magnify them, and when you get the minimum negative stuff, just minimize them, and try to create as much as possible the good, happy, and positive events in your life. At least we need 5 to 6 times more positive events to make an even between a negative aspect of just one episode of the negative aspect.
Okay, you remind me of Russian philosophy, positive thinking, positive attitude, positive talking, right? Everything in the positive way.
Right,
It was a very good
right.
one. I like it. I like it. So, let's see. We have another question. So, what should I do? I cannot see it from there. Let me bring my tablet. I can see better here. So, uh, someone said, what should I do when I'm living with a negative person? All the time complaining, all the time negative, and what should I do with him? Okay, looks like.
That's absolutely happening to most of us. There is a different people around us, and it's happening. Yeah, and I believe that there is two things that we can do. First of all, if there is a possibility to avoid this group of the people, do it. As much as to make a distances between this group of people and your the best strategy. But if you cannot, and you are working or living with this group of the people, it's better to hear them, but not try to get the influence or absorb the emotion. I just want to explain it to you that there is two different types of feeling. We do have the comfortable feeling. I'm not going to call it as a good feeling and bad feeling. I'm going to call it as a comfortable feeling and uncomfortable feeling.
Mm.
When you are sad, is uncomfortable feeling. When you are shamed, this is an uncomfortable feeling. When you embarrassed, is an uncomfortable feeling. So basically, when we do have someone in around, constantly in a work area, in a living area, and the person are sending the negative message all the time to you, it's better to translate all of these negative aspects or negative messages in a positive way. And believe it or not, after a couple of weeks, this group of the people will change the dance between you and themselves. And if you couple of times to tell them that I think that by saying these words that maybe you mean this way, and then they figure it out at, oh, okay, maybe there is a other meaning for my statement, and they will learn from you that how to talk and how to communicate it. I do remember that a couple of session before we were talking about the effective communication, and one of the parts of the effective communication is to send the positive ways, send to the positive informative context to the people to
Mhm.
make us happy and the
Yeah.
other people happy. Yeah.
It's very important to use the positive, words, as you said, comfortable and uncomfortable.
Yes.
Okay, and most of people, they using different word, and some people they said, uh, I hate this one, and some people they
That's
learn
very
to don't,
strong.
yeah,
That's
they
very strong
learn
words.
to use, don't say I hate it, say I dislike. Yeah, simple. Just say, I dislike it. Because,
Well, you know what? We don't have a role model to teach us which word.
but with this type of role
Yeah,
model, we
basically, we
can
don't
tell
have
to
a
our
role model.
brain. You know, we send a message to our brain when you said all the time, I hate this, I hate that, I hate that. You know, it's different to send a message to your brain to say, I dislike this, I dislike it. Okay, please tell us what's the difference when we said, I hate it, or I said, I dislike it.
When you're saying that, I hate this one, this is a very strong emotion, very strong, uncomfortable emotion and a feeling. And it means that, coming a lot of energy out of you in a negative way, that, for saying these words, when you are communicating with a, person, the amount of the energy, the amount of the level of the energy actually you are transforming to the other person will, affect yourself too. When you are using the type of the words that does have a little bit, low amount of the bad or uncomfortable energy, you will experience, much less uncomfortable feeling. And I was explaining to you that, when we do have the negative effect or negative experiences in our life, we need at least 5 to 6 positive, even if I say something very, in a negative way, strong to you, I should give you 6 or 7, or sometimes, a little bit more as a positive to make it for you. And we do have a, an example that, when you say something as a negative to some person is a kind of, putting a nail into the log, into the, board. And when you are trying to apologize from a person, means that you are taking the nail or pin from the board. Yeah, you can say that, I'm sorry, that was, my mistake, that was my fault. But you already create that type of the feeling. It's not going to be very easy to say I'm sorry. When you sorry, it means that you're not going to repeat it anymore. You understand that this is not going to work, and I'm not going to try it one more time. So basically, we are trying to make good events, good memories, and good, experiences, not negative ones.
Okay, we received 2 more messages. So someone said, all the time I had a problem with love. I learned to say the opposite of love is not hate, it's a fear of love. It's beautiful, huh?
Absolutely,
what do you think? Some
that's
people, they have a
absolutely true.
fear. They have a fear of love because they don't believe love. They didn't grow
That's
up
right.
with they didn't grow
When you
up
are in
with love
love,
from parents.
when you are in love, you don't have type of fear or anxiety. But outside of the love is fear and anxiety. And I do remember that many sessions ago we were talking about the differences of the anxiety and the fear. But anyway, fear and anxiety are uncomfortable feeling, and the love is a very pleasant, very comfortable feeling. And I agree with your viewers or the question.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So for the last minute, yes, wow, time is flying, right? I'm just kidding, you have more time, don't worry about that. So we want to close this segment about happiness. The second question I received is, what should I do with my sad mood? Someone, she has a sad mood or depressed mood. So
we have to know that our feelings are temporary. When I'm happy, this happiness is going to be temporary. When I'm sad, this feeling is going to be temporary. When I'm ashamed, it's going to be temporary. And the duration of this feeling is about 90 seconds, maximum 2 minutes. And if I can meditation, yeah, actually, this is a rush of the hormones, rush of the neurotransmitter, so I feel good or I feel bad. So basically just 2 minutes.
Question. You said 90 minutes or 2 minutes? Which?
No, 90 seconds or 2 minutes.
90 seconds to, okay, 90 seconds to 2 minutes. So.
Yes. And when I understand that, this.
Do you mean that person, if she has a sad mood or depressed mood, is just 2 minutes?
No. That's not correct. I'm saying that, when I do have an uncomfortable feeling, it's going to take only 2 minutes in my body, because, the rush of the neurotransmitter, a lot of, chemical release in my bloodstream, and it's going to take only 2 minutes. But the effect of these transmitters is going to, sink in my brain. And actually, we do have the capacity to bring it up all the time, to make this story from the beginning, go to the end of this story, and then come back to the beginning of this story and make it another version of this story. So actually, our brain is so good to, repeat and repeat all of these feelings. When I'm trying to, I'm trying to tell you that, if I'm aware about the whole part of the emotion, which is only 2 minutes, and this is me that I created, I continue it, I repeat it and repeat it, so I can stop it somewhere, and I can break this vicious cycle. I can destroy this vicious cycle, and I can do something positive for myself. When you feel unhappy, when you all feel uncomfortable, the best way is to get up and go for a walk. If you cannot go for a walk, sit down, close your eyes, and have a good meditation only for 1 or 2 minutes. That's the best thing, the best strategy to decrease the level of the intensity of, consistency of the negative feelings, and, in a long run, to prevent the depression, anxiety, and all of these mood changes.
Okay. I know what you're talking about. It's easy for me, but some people, maybe it's not easy for them. It wasn't easy for me,
No, it's not.
4 or 5 years ago. So that's why I can feel them. I can, understand. So now lots of question mark is coming. How? Okay, I'm going to walk, and then still thinking about all that negative things, all the problems, all the issues I have.
No.
Sorry, you interrupt. You're break.
When you have to be in a different mode. You do remember a couple of minutes ago I was saying that the best way
let's start with breathing. Because first breathing, just breathe.
Being mindful. Yeah, exactly.
Be mindful.
You have to have a good breathing.
Breathing. Maybe takes 2 minutes, right? To have a better mood, and then after that, change the mindset, and then we can go for walk or meditation. And then what's next, Dr. Khorramshadi?
All right, good. So you make a 2 minutes meditation, and then you go for the walk. When you are walking, try to enjoy the whole scenario over there, the whole scene over there. If you see a butterfly, if you see a beautiful flower, if the weather is so beautiful, and you're experiencing the nice smooth weather, so enjoy it. When you do have enjoyment, you bring.
Sorry, I interrupt you. Sometimes I said, take off this headphone. Don't listen to music. Listen to, nature, and see what's going on around you.
That's right. Exactly. Listen to the music.
That's a different way. But when you're hiking, when you're walking, the sound is coming. That's a totally, natural, real, good feeling. It's totally different.
And there is another way you can, refresh your memory, put all of the good childhood memories. When you were a little boy with your dad, when it was, a little girl with your mom, licking an ice cream, playing with a ball, something that makes you happy, because life is about the feeling and emotion, which we know that they are transient. So we shouldn't make it as a permanent, miserable life for ourselves.
Okay, and the last key, the last key to make happy, to make ourselves happy. One more time.
I didn't hear you.
I said,
Unfortunately,
and now,
today you are cut off a lot.
yeah, because it's an internet problem. So I ask you, so for last minute, what's the best key? One more time. I know you already mentioned, but we have more audience. We have 300 something more audience more than 10 minutes ago. So the best key, the main key.
The best key: physical activity,
Woo-hoo!
mental activity. Physical activity, mental activity. You have to have the physical activity as an exercise, whatever you like, and then, physical activity plus the mental activity, which is the meditation. Listening to very calm music, whatever you like, whatever, makes your brain goes to the theta wave and enjoy the, day.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Dr. Khorramshadi from New York. I forgot to ask you, how's the weather over there?
That was perfect today, actually. Very
Good.
sunny and very perfect. Yes.
Why people they don't wear mask? What's going on in the brain? Now it's a question. What's going on? What's going to happen in their
This
brain?
is the belief system. Yeah.
Okay.
This is the belief system of the people. And, when you want to change the belief system, it's not going to be very easy. And then I love to talk about the level of the changes and how we get change, and, change our habits. But, it's not easy to make a change in belief system of the people. And, they need a lot of, education. They need a lot of emphasis. And besides, we have to be responsible for our lives. So this is a combination of, being respectful and being responsible.
And I can see, like a subconscious and how it react. And most of people, they fighting with this reality. We should wearing mask. But I can see lots of people, they fighting with this these things. So thank you so much for your time. And I hope to talk to you tomorrow about continue this subject or next subject.
Very good to be with you tonight and
Pleasure.
your viewers. And thank you for having me. Good night.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much. Good night. Stay tuned with me. We have more music and next interview.